Here with Caden McCoy, 2024 from Bloomington North at the Future Games representing Indiana. Caden, man, appreciate the time.
Oh, it's no problem. Got to do it.
So you ended around 90 with the fastball. I know you really opened some eyes in the couple innings you had against Texas with 5 Ks with that slider. Take me inside your approach when you got on the mound in the Future Games.
Well, I mean, I've been stuck at kind of 89, so my big thing was I wanted to go in there and try to hit 90. I mean, but I also wanted to try to go in there and have fun with it and try to throw as best as I could in front of a lot of coaches. I knew it'd be a really good experience, and like I thought, I mean, I hoped I'd get a lot of people to see me, and I did.
So you talk about all the coaches. I mean, anybody can look. I mean, you're watching behind a plate, and there are dozens and dozens of college coaches here. When you get on the mound in this environment, this atmosphere, how do you kind of compartmentalize that and just kind of focus on what your job is in that moment?
It was kind of hard because I've never thrown in front of coaches like that. When I was in the pen, I kind of saw some wandering around, looking, watching, and I thought about it. But then once I stepped up on the mound, you know, I just thought my job was to go in there and do as best as I could, and I did everything I could to just completely drown that out and just think about just getting up there and throwing. I mean, it was kind of hard seeing all the coaches around all there, but I did the best I could to just completely drown it out and get up there and just throw.
What was the emphasis for you this summer when you build off what you did during the high school season and looked at this summer as kind of its whole? What was the focus for you?
Try to get seen as much as I can, try to throw as good as I can. My curveball kind of struggled some in high school, so my big thing was kind of make sure I can get that down this summer and make sure, I mean, that's working for me. And also, I mean, changeup's my second best pitch, so I wanted to kind of showcase kind of how I am as a pitcher and just throw good.
What do you like about the changeup then as you kind of work on that throughout this time of year?
My changeup's probably my second best pitch. I've thrown that since I was 8 years old. I wasn't allowed to throw a curveball until high school, so I mean that's kind of just the pitch that stuck with me the most. I mean I'm pretty comfortable with it. I'm able to throw it in full counts or counts that I'm behind in. I just feel pretty comfortable with it.
You take the mound here at Future Games like everybody else does, uncommitted. I'm sure that's going to change for you very soon. What is that school going to get from Caden McCoy that ultimately gets his commitment?
They're going to get everything I can be. I mean, hopefully they can develop me the way they want, but they're going to get everything out of me. I'm going to try as hard as I can with everything. I'm just going to go in there and try to be the best I can be.
All right, you told us a little bit about what you throw. I'm going to get you a ball and have you show us your grip. Sound good?
Yeah. For starting off, my 4-seam is just a simple grip like that. I always just have the horseshoe facing out. It's just what feels comfortable for me. And then I also throw, I don't throw a ton, but I do mix in a 2-seam. Just get in between the 2 seams like that. My changeup, I kind of throw a 2-seam changeup. I like to get my fingers, if I have a count in my favor, I like to spread my fingers out a little bit more. Just gets a little more break and a little more depth on it. But when I want to get it more for a strike, I can bring my fingers in a little bit. Gets a little less movement, a little more velocity, but I feel like I can probably control it a little better. My curveball, it kind of depends on how I'm feeling today. Some days I throw it better like this. It gets more of a 12-6 to us. Sometimes it'll be a slider. But then like last night I ended up throwing it like this, which I feel more comfortable with sometimes, but maybe sometimes it doesn't have as much movement for me.
Caden, man, thank you so much for doing that. Appreciate it. Make sure everybody was following LakePoint Sports on all our social media channels. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube for so much more happening here on campus.